to my channel. So today's video is actually something that was suggested for me to do by one of my subbies. She commented and said, why don't you do a comparison between Neverfull and the newest Gucci Ophidia tote? And I thought it was just a brilliant idea because I mentioned in my Gucci video that those two bags are quite comparable. So what we're gonna talk about exactly is this beauty, which is the newest Ophidia tote, and of course the trusty Neverfull MM. So let's start it. So when I did the reveal of the, the Gucci tote, I kind of mentioned, and I'll show you guys, that it's actually quite comparable to Neverfull. To my opinion, they are like nearly identical. Obviously the look, is different, but like functionality and like, the whole design is just pretty much the same. So let's just kind of look at some details, and I'm gonna give you the measurements as well, and let's just see what are those little differences in here. So first of all, two handbags are made of canvas. All right, so this is the main thing, which is the great thing, because this can be like means that it's all weather bag, right? Well, except the Neverfulls, unless you have a damier ebene, which I don't. I have this Neverfull and I have damier azure. So unfortunately the Neverfulls comes with untreated leather, like you see in my Neverfull. And by the way, this one is about 8-9 years old, this handbag. So when you have those Neverfulls, if you not be careful, those little vachetta, sections that you see can get, first of all, it will get oxidized, as you can see in here, and second of all, it can stain when you, touch it with the water or, I don't know, lotion, or, it's just gonna stain and it's just gonna get kind of dirty, and after a while, I know there's quite a few people who do exchange, the handles, because they can get quite black. Mine is not so bad yet, so it's still good. But Gucci, on the other hand, Gucci doesn't have that problem, because the leather handles, again, the trim is the same. It's all leather and the handles are all leather, but they are already treated. They have some, color on it. So whatever you see, that's what it's gonna stay. Let's hope they're not gonna crack or anything like that. I know some of the Neverfull are cracking, especially the one, the damier ebene, that has a treated leather. I don't know the newest one. I think the newest one they kind of improved, but I know the old one they can crack quite easily. So as you can see, the whole kind of vibe is kind of the same. Again, the trimmed leather, the leather handles, the way they are attached is quite similar. So this is the Gucci's and this is the Neverfull. Yeah, it's really, really, really very comparable. Of course, the Neverfull has those little, ties here on the sides, which Gucci doesn't. So let's talk about the size. I have my trusty pink tape, and I'm gonna try to measure like the best I can. What I think I'm gonna do, you guys, I'm gonna measure this side, because this will give you an idea. I know the Neverfull can open up a little bit slightly, but I think this will give you an idea of how big it is. So this one is about 17 inches here. I can measure here the lower. Yeah, it's pretty much 17 and a half. So it's a pretty large tote. Now let's see how tall it is. So I'm gonna measure here the section. It's about 11 and a half inches. So pretty big. And then the width of the handbag, I'm gonna measure the lower half here. So this is gonna be like the thickest, the thickest part of the handbag is about 6.5 inches. So I think it's a decent size tote. And I'm pretty sure the strap drop in this particular tote will be a little bit longer than Neverfull. So let's take a look. It's about 9.5. Okay, so 9.5 of the strap drop. Now let's take a look at the Neverfull. So the Neverfull gets a little bit wider in here, so I know it's gonna be longer in this part, so I'm just gonna kind of measure both parts. Yeah, so it's 19 inches here at the, at the top trim. And let me just kind of grab it here in the middle, see how many inches. Yeah, it's about 17. So, it's very comparable. All right, let's see the from the top to the bottom, it's the same thing. It's about 11.5 inches. And then let's see the width. Maybe this one, well, mine is kind of stretched out quite a bit, but let's see. Kind of approximately, we can put a lot more in there, but I would say 8 inches maybe. So, you know, because it can get quite, you know, stretched out. But just keep in mind that I have this handbag for so long, so this one is like more kind of, you know, floppy. Sloppy here. Okay, the strap drop. Sometimes in the past especially I had a little issue with the strap drop in here. So let's see what exactly it is. So it's not even a 9 inch, it's about 8 3/4. So yeah, so the Gucci strap drop, it is longer. Can you see the difference? So I'm holding them both together, and can you see there's like a good probably an inch of a difference. So the Gucci will be sitting slightly lower. So if you have an issue, you know, with the small strap drop, you might consider, you know, Gucci there. So yeah, so as you can see, the size is pretty comparable. Let's take a look at the inside. So I'm gonna start with the Neverfull. The Neverfull, mine is an old model, so it's pretty simple. Only has a 1 zipper pocket in here and has just no pochette, no nothing. My newest Neverfull, which is the Demi Azur, comes with a little pochette that it's attached, you know, inside to the handbag. So if you do get a new Neverfull these days, it will come with the extra pochette, but this one doesn't, because this is my old model and I just never this one never came with a pochette. Now Gucci has 2 pockets. So Gucci has a zipper pocket, and I feel like this pocket is maybe slightly bigger than the one in Neverfull, and then also has a little slip pocket here on the other side. So you're getting 1 extra compartment, but you're not getting any pochette with this handbag. When you get a bigger model, which I can try to link it down below, there's a bigger model of this, which to me visually looks a little bit different, but it's kind of very similar, you know, like up front, but just the whole like kind of look for it, it just looks a little boxy, looks a little funny. This bigger model comes with the extra pochette. Mine doesn't, because that's the size. So you do get 2 pockets in there, but there's no extra pochette. I know one of my one of the comments I've got, like, where's the pochette? Why you didn't come with a pochette? It's the bigger model that comes with the pochette, not this one. Now the closure also is slightly different, because here we have a magnetic, which I actually find this to be a little bit better. If you remember, Neverfull had this little hook, and to be honest with you guys, I never use it because it just, I have to grab it, you know, I have to kind of, you know, make an effort to close it in, while this one is just so much easier because the back kind of just goes immediately, you know, I don't have to worry about it. So honestly, I like this better. If I'll have to choose, I would rather have a zipper. That would be like my ideal, you know, handbag, the big tote with the zipper, but unfortunately none of them has a zipper. So yeah, you gotta deal with what you have. Now the inside of the handbag, this is like kind of like a suede material, but it's not suede, it's like a microfiber. I do like it though. I know I've got some comments, people saying that this makes the bag look more cheap, or it's just not luxurious. Probably, I mean, but I am not, it doesn't really bother me. I actually prefer this because if it was like a leather interior, the handbag would get automatically so much heavier, and because it's, you know, like a fabric line, those handbags are pretty light, you know, pretty light. So you do have a suede, but the Neverfull doesn't have a suede. The Neverfull is like a textile, I would say, lining inside. And even the newest models that you're gonna have these days also have this kind of a textiles interior, and it does comes with different colors. You can get a rose, you can get a rose ballerine, you can get a gray kind of beige like this. It's just so many colors, or red, you know, you can choose and pick. So yeah, but this one is just slightly different. I think the one in Gucci is just more kind of you know, kind of soft. Yeah, it feels a little bit kind of plushy, if that makes sense. Hardware on both handbags is very minimum. Gucci obviously just has those little 4 rings in here, little GG logo that you have right in there. Same with the Louis Vuitton, just have those tiny, you know, tiny rings in here with the little studs on both sides. Very minimum amount of the hardware, and just because of that, plus the lining, you know, it just makes the bag super light, which personally I do appreciate. I think if I'm holding them both, maybe I would say maybe Gucci is just tiny bit heavier, but it's very difficult to, you know, feel the difference. To me, they're all pretty much the same. So what else is important here is the price. Let's talk about the price. Price is very similar. I mean, Louis Vuitton just went up in price recently. So these days, the Neverfull the newest model with the pochette inside, will cost $1,500 US dollars plus tax. This one, the Gucci Tote, medium Ophidia Gucci Tote, will cost you $1,250 plus tax. So it's a little bit cheaper. But if you think about the retail value, which one is higher? I think the Neverfull. You know, even I just feel like the Neverfulls are just so popular, and in Gucci Ophidia, this is more of this vintage kind of a vibe, which personally I really like, especially in this bag, because I think the tote is kind of timeless. You know, if you look at some other Ophidia line handbags, which are like literally taking from the I think it's 70s 80s, they are kind of old looking, you know, even though they are new handbags, but they are old looking. Tote, I feel like it's always timeless. Like tote will be always tote, no matter if it's in the 70s 80s 90s or, you know, 2020. No, I feel like this will always look good. And the same, I think it's the situation with the Neverfull. The problem is so many people have the Neverfulls, and you know, to be honest with you, when years ago when I asked my husband to get me a first Louis Vuitton handbag for my name day, and you know, that's what he wanted to buy. He wanted to buy Neverfull because it was like, back then was like $800, and I, as much as I like the look of it, I didn't want to have it because I've seen so many people have it. So I want to have something original. That's why I went with the Estrella. But then a few months later, I ended up purchasing this one, and I remember it cost me $800, you know. So, and it was right before the big price increase, and it was right before they came up with the little pochette. So I think I bought it like in August, and in September there was a big price increase, and they changed, you know, slightly adding the pochette. So I kind of got it right before, you know, the price went up. But I feel like, you know, the Gucci is just, it's there, then it's not there. You know, I don't think they are like super consistent with this line because they are just bringing it back. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Honestly, I think they are both classic. And if Gucci is gonna stay with, you know, with this Ophidia line, if it's, because I feel like they sometimes they just discontinue a little bit too quick, and they just bringing new models, new kind of, you know, designs. I don't know, I feel like Gucci is just playing with the fire a little bit, while Louis Vuitton keeps the classics, you know what I mean? So honestly, I don't know what are the classics from Gucci anymore because they change it so much. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I don't know much, but this is just my opinion, you guys. So honestly, if I will have to pick one handbag, I'll probably go with the Neverfull, is because it's Louis Vuitton, you know, and it's, if I want to sell it down the line, I'll probably get more money for this versus this one. But practicality, I think the Gucci probably will be more practical, especially if you are not a super cautious person, and if you're gonna be caught in the rain or something, you know, you do have those treated handles, which I think are like super important. So, you know, and honestly, like, you have to go with what your heart is telling you. You really have to buy what you like. So at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's obviously your decision. Two handbags are nearly the same, so whatever you like better. All right guys, I'm not gonna talk anymore because I think I'm like rumbling at this point. But I'm very happy that I have both handbags, and you guys know how much I love my Neverfulls, and I just use them all the time. And now, you know, I'm gonna have a Gucci as a nice addition, and you can tell that it's pretty much, you know, pretty much the same. So at the end of the day, whatever you prefer, I think they're both great options, and I love them both. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful for you guys, especially if you are kind of undecided, you know, which one to buy, which one to go with. Go with whatever your heart is telling you. Go with whatever you like, because I notice if I buy something because of someone else's habit, I never enjoy it, either clothing or shoes or handbag. I have to buy exactly what I love. So those videos are just to kind of, you know, highlight things and give you a little bit ideas, but ultimately you should do whatever, you know, your heart is telling you. I'm gonna try to link both of the handbags down below, and I'm gonna also link the larger Gucci tote if this is, you know, something, if you need more room. The larger Gucci tote, like I mentioned, comes with a little pochette inside. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to my channel. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and yeah, let me know if you have any more suggestions, if there are any requests that you want me to do for the upcoming videos. I'll be happy to do it. And I hope you're all well and safe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.